everybody. It's Atlas. I'm here for the roundup. Me and Ozzy, right there. So it looks like since we've come to the end of DBT01, Genesis of the Five Greats, uh, there's not really a lot of actual cards to talk about. There's the Dark States one that is like Trickstar, where it can't be chosen by stuff. I'm not really sure if that's going to be super important for Dark States, at least at the beginning. I don't think of the testing that we've done, and by that I mean that Root Beer's done, it doesn't really help either the Bruce or the Barra Magnus deck do what it needs to do. And there's not really a thing where it's like, if you have this many units, you can do this. So it looks like it's just kind of there to be there, pack filler or whatever. And that's not a bad thing, but it's just what we got. And now all we have for like release stuff is just like what the SPs are. Oh, hey, I did all that talk about not having anything to talk about, and then they revealed two new cards. So I'm gonna stick this in the middle there. I'm wearing a different T-shirt. No Danny Phantom there. But so first we got Blazing Maiden Mirren, who's grade 1 with 6k, and then her ability is when your unit with Overdress attacks, you put her in Soul from rear, and then choose one of your units with the Overdress ability, and it gets plus 5k till end of turn. So this is good because, or ish, it gives you more Soul, which I know Overdress doesn't care about that much. I know Virina Soul Blast. I don't think the other two do, but it's a thing. I don't know if it's worth it. This seems like it would be better suited for Eugene on something that where it wasn't tied to Overdress. So I'm not really sure how good her usability is. And then there's also Rough Eating Dragon Huntersaurus, which is like, they tried. They tried, Tachikaze, they tried. It's a 10k grade 2, continuous on rear. During your turn, it gets plus 5k just for free. But if your opponent has a front or rear guard, it can't attack the Vanguard. So Root Beer called this Restraint when we were talking about it off mic for the show, but I don't think it's so much restraint as like distraction. Like if there's a guy over there, I gotta attack it first. I can't attack the Vanguard. I gotta go attack Vanguard's friend. Which I don't know if that's really worth it. I mean, being able to hit Vanguard on its own if the front row is empty is good. It might be kind of good for Eugene, because Eugene calls stuff off of its effect, and its whole shtick is blowing stuff up. So now you have something that gets kind of a bonus for having an empty field. Are they worth triple R's? I don't really think so, but we're still early in Overdress, so we're gonna have to work with it for a while. One thing that is interesting though is that it being a triple R means that they're not using these spots to make new boss monsters immediately, which means that we're gonna. It looks like, hoping this doesn't bite me on the rear end here, but it looks like we're gonna have high rarity support for the bosses in the first set and the first TDs, which means you get your guy, and then you stick with him for a while, or her, and then you get the support around that guy, which means you get more support for your deck more often, and I like that. That's good. These cards, though, it's like a bad message with a good omen, if that makes sense. And we did a Nexus at Night episode reviewing the pack proper, so I think what this roundup is going to be, instead of covering the last week in cards besides the thing I just said, I think what it's going to be is what I would like to happen, I guess, in the next upcoming set. So I hope that, at least to start with, Bushiro doesn't go off and make another set of bosses and then try and support those and the bosses from the first set and the pack bosses. I feel like that would be spreading their resources too thin. I think a lot of the decks that were revealed to us in the first set, and after the TDs, don't really have enough to be cohesive decks or consistent really yet. Like Eugene, Orphist, and Barrow Magnus like really have problems with existing. Also, Hex Orb, that's a big problem for them. I think it's because they don't really have like a solid win condition. Every deck has its problems, and I'm okay with everything being like a little slower and everything's about the same power level. But it looks like the stuff that floated to the top has been Trickstar and the overdressed stuff, which it's your main character. Bruce, Zorga to an extent, and especially Bastion have really been the big players to begin with. And again, that's not a bad thing. Like a 4-deck topping, and then you have some road tear stuff under that, that's good. But I still think that there's some work to be done. And I think that we're off to a good start. And I will be picking up the Barrow Magnus stuff and sitting it in a drawer for a few months while I wait to see if they come out with other stuff. But overall, me, Matt, and Root Beer have been happy about all this, and we're happy that you guys have watched and listened and supported us. Again, thanks for watching. That was the roundup. I'm sorry it's short, but yeah, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Nexus at Night. Leave a like, leave a comment. All that stuff is down there in the description. Say bye, Ozzy. Oh, right, he's a painting. So, yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday for the usual Nexus at Night episode.